Hey everybody, it's Allie and thank you for joining me on my weight loss journey. I'm on week 2. And if you were here for the first video, then you're probably wondering, wow, why is she always filming when she's in bed? Yeah, so I'm filming on the Saturday, which is the day after my shot, and the fatigue is real. So I'm in bed because that's where I'm happiest right now. So let's talk about week 2. Week 2, it was actually the week of Thanksgiving. So I was traveling, starting on Wednesday, and went to my dad's house, in another state. And because I was going to be traveling and away from home, I really was nervous about trying another injection site. So I opted for the right thigh again. I knew what to expect, and I just figured that'd be the best way to get me through the weekend so that I could then travel to come back home. So it turned out that that was an excellent choice. So I did the same thing. I did my my shot on Friday, kind of afternoon, evening-ish, and was prepared for my symptoms on Saturday. One of the challenges that I had, even though I had prepared my dad for how fatigued I was going to be, and I was basically going to be useless and lay in bed all day, even though I had kind of prepped him for that, I really don't think that he understood the extreme nature of the fatigue, which is understandable. And if you have family members or friends or significant others who've never taken a medication like this that cause these type of symptoms, it's going to be hard for them to understand, right? Because they're going to be like, oh, you're just tired. Just get up and go do something anyway. And while you're more than welcome to do that if you want to, I can tell you that for me, that's not an option. Because when I push it, when I'm feeling fatigued, is when I start to have the nausea. So for me, it's you need to slow down, you need to relax, you need to make sure you're hydrated, and go from there. Okay, are you happy now, Kevin? He was crying outside the door. Okay, so anyway, just try to be patient with your family, especially if you're having more extreme symptoms or side effects, I should say, because they're not going to understand. Just try to be patient. So my dad was like wanting to get up and go do things and, hey, let's go do this and do that. I mean, he was even like, hey, let's go to Costco. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I just can't. I can't. Like, it's borderline debilitating. So, not to say that you can't work around that. I don't want anybody to be discouraged. You just, as you take the medication more, then these side effects are supposed to get better. So do not let what I'm saying discourage you. You should still absolutely get on one of these medications if it can help you. So week 1, lost 5 pounds. Week 2, lost 3 pounds. So that was fantastic. Again, I am not expecting to lose weight every week, and I don't want anybody to have that expectation. I am starting at a much higher weight than a lot of people, so it does not surprise me that I did lose another 3 pounds, but let's just, keep our expectations realistic. Very happy about the 3 pounds. The other thing that I did was, while I was at my dad's house, I picked up my free weights that I had. They're all just, kind of like, I think they're like 10 pounds and less, like they go down. And that's just to really get me started with working out. Because again, one of the things in my research, everybody's like, you got to work out, you got to work out. If there was anything I could tell myself to do from the beginning, it's work out. Not necessarily cardio, but strength training. And I was like, okay, message received. We are going to work out. So, by Wednesday, right, I take my shot on a Friday night, so through the weekend, by Wednesday, I was feeling better, and I started working out. And I'm just keeping it simple, you know, doing some reps of things that I've learned previously, different various exercises while I'm watching TV. I'm not doing any cardio at this point. I just want to make sure that I'm not losing muscle mass, because if you're not careful, that is something that can happen. And your body will eat up your muscle just as fast, if not faster, than it will eat up the fat. So you got to maintain. So I'm working on that. I didn't have any other side effects. It's really just the day after the shot that's the worst. And then it progressively gets better on Sunday. So, you know, we're kind of slowly getting there. We're making progress. I'm still doing the protein shakes. I found a bunch of new stuff. Apparently there's all sorts of protein shots that you can do, like if you don't want a whole shake. They're specifically designed for bariatric patients. Who knew? So I'm looking into ordering some of those off of Amazon. I'll be sure to let you guys know how those do. And yeah, oh, traveling. This was one of the things I wanted to say. So I'm a big snacker while I travel. And I opted for apple chips that are just, you know, no sugar added. They're not sweetened or anything. It's just dehydrated apples, essentially. And I got some grapes when I stopped at a gas station. And I got a little thing of jerky, so I could have a little bit of protein. And that kept me from stopping at fast food. Fast food is my nemesis. I was severely addicted, spent tons of money every week on fast food. Thankfully, I have not had any fast food since about 2 weeks before starting this journey. Just because, you know, I'm really trying to take this seriously and get my life back on track. So, anyway, traveling long distances, I was so bad about stopping. This time around, because I had the snacks, and because of the reduced food noise and the appetite suppression, I was like, okay, let me get a protein, let me get a fruit. Okay, great, I'm gonna go. You know, and then I'm driving 6 hours and I'm totally fine. So that worked out great. So if you're gonna be traveling, if you have holidays coming up, make sure that you think about it before you get out on the road, so that you can have a plan in place. Now, let's talk Thanksgiving. I know that a lot of people do these big, huge Thanksgivings, you know, with all this food and everything. Thankfully, it was just my dad and I together for Thanksgiving. So I was able to keep all of the portions very small, and I just kind of got a scoop of a couple of different things and just decided that I wasn't going to go crazy. So I focused on the turkey. I got a lot of green beans, which is great. Not green bean casserole, just green beans. And a little bit of stuffing, and then kind of went from there. I did splurge a little bit and do the cranberry jelly because canned cranberry, don't we love that? By the way, if you are team canned cranberry, then like this video. If you are team cranberry sauce that's like handmade, comment down below because it's always interesting to see the different, the people like different things. Anyway, yeah, so Thanksgiving was great. I know that if I had stayed home and done Thanksgiving with the in-laws, it would have been much more challenging because there's like this, buffet table of food, and I know that that would have been more challenging. So that's something that I'll have to plan for next year. But for this year, I really got lucky and A, spent it with my dad, and B, we were able to keep kind of like the food options both healthy and to a smaller portion. The other thing that I'm noticing, which is really fantastic, is I'm able to notice when I'm full and stop eating. This is a big deal for me. Again, as a binge eater, it's not something that I can identify very well on my own. If I'm getting to the point where I am actually identifying that I'm full right before this medication, it's because I've done way too much and I'm at the point of making myself sick. So, understanding this feeling and working with it is very new to me, and it's great. The struggle that I have is leaving food on the plate. Parents, when you ingrain into your kids that they can't leave the table until they clear their plate, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Because we end up with adults, like myself, who now have anxiety about leaving food on the plate. I'm wasting food. I'm, all these things. So, by putting smaller portions on my plate and then recognizing when I'm full and sitting there and looking at the food, I'm having a different kind of conversation with myself about the food that's left on the plate and how it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I don't need to save it for later because I'm going to be hungry again. It's very much psychological. And I highly encourage anybody who's going through this journey in their life to have someone that they can speak with about their mental health, whether that's therapy or a close friend or maybe somebody who's gone through this, so that they can talk about those kinds of things, because that's very new for me. So yeah, it's getting better. Not having the food noise all the time makes a huge difference in what I'm able to control and kind of put my foot down and say, okay, I feel full now and there's still things on my plate. I've put too much on my plate. It's time to be done. And that's okay. Or I'm at a restaurant and I'm eating with family and they're still eating and I've taken, 4 bites of my salad and 3 bites of my broccoli and I'm full and they're still eating. And now I have to stop eating. And I have to say to myself, that's okay. It's okay. I'm sitting here, I'm talking to them, I'm enjoying myself out to eat. I'm full. It's okay to stop. So that is a completely new experience for me. And it's something that I'm still working on. So, kind of having a different conversation with myself. So yeah, so week 2 has been a success. I've got a couple of things ordered off of Amazon that are going to be coming in to try to help me along my journey, and I'll be sure to help, share those with you. One of them is a portion plate, so that I can start to relearn what a plate of food should look like, right? It shows you, and I'll show it to you guys. It's supposed to arrive on Monday. So, so far so good. So, Kevin's doing good.
Right, Kevin? Are you a good boy? Here he is. Kevin. He's a good boy.
He's being very good. He was chewing his little chew here while I was making the video. Good puppy. Okay, I'm gonna jump off of here. I am currently drinking my favorite organic coconut water that I'm addicted to. It does have some sugar in it, but I'm feeling the fatigue today, so a little bit of sugar's not going to be the end of the world. Got to keep those electrolytes up. So if you've made it this far, give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you stay tuned for next week when I do the week 3 update. Have a good one.
You two started this? You